Okay, so this video is going to cover how to find the area of a trapezoid. Now, for the most part, when it comes to area, volume, surface area problems, I call those plug and chug problems. You're essentially given the figure, right, whatever shape it happens to be, with all the information for the most part already labeled there. It's really just a matter of taking your formula and plugging into the formula. Now, a couple of problems that you can run into is things like, a lot of times they like to give you some additional information. Like, for example, on this problem here, I have every single side labeled, right? Even inside the trapezoid here. So we see all these different numbers. But when I look at the formula, really the only thing we need to plug into the formula is B1, B2, and the height, right? So the area of a trapezoid is equal to base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2, and then we're going to multiply that by the height, right? So first things first, we need to make sure that we have the pieces of information we need to plug in. So we need to figure out what is base 1, what is base 2, what is the height. Okay, starting with your bases. Well, first off, your bases come from the two parallel sides, right? So remember, parallel sides do not intersect. Parallel sides line up with each other. They run side by side, right? So it's typically when looking at it, the top and the bottom, but not always. Every once in a while, they like to turn the trapezoid to its side or maybe just shift it around a little bit. So you're looking for the two sides that run parallel to each other, and those are your bases. Now, it doesn't matter which one is base 1, which one is base 2. Just pick one of them. So for this particular example, I'm going to say base 1 is 8 and base 2 is 26. The only other thing I would need to plug into this formula is the height. Now, the height connects the bases. The height goes from base 1 straight up to base 2, right? So it also forms a 90-degree angle with it, so signified by that little box right there. That means that's a 90-degree angle. Notice that height does connect base 1 to base 2, so our height is going to be the 12 inches here. Notice these sides over here, those 15s that are labeled there, those are extra pieces of information. If we were looking for the perimeter of this, we would have needed them, but for the area, not so much, right? So those are kind of just extra pieces of information. We don't need to use them for this problem. So now that we've identified our missing information here, the pieces we need to plug into the formula, let's go ahead and plug into the formula so we can calculate. All right, so A is equal to base 1 plus base 2. So that's 8 plus 26, and that's going to be divided by 2, and then we're going to multiply that by 12. So when we're simplifying down this formula, we do need to remember to simplify it in order of our order of operations here. So remember, order of operations always tells us to start with parentheses first. Remember those order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. So it's just the order in which to simplify a problem. Always start with parentheses, and we have parentheses here, so we're going to take care of what's inside of the parentheses, taking care of 8 plus 26 first. Well, 8 plus 26 is 34. We now need to go ahead and divide that by 2, right, because we still have division going on inside of those parentheses. So let's go ahead and take care of the division. 34 divided by 2 is 17, and that was being multiplied by the height, which is 12. So now let's take 17 times the 12. So 17 times 12 is 204. So that means the area of this trapezoid is 204 square inches. So remember those two tick marks here on the problem, right? Yes, it's quotation marks, but that stands for inches. So 204 square inches. Also remember that when it comes to area, it's always squared. Your units are always to the second power. You're talking about a 2D figure, so your units are always to the second power. So 204 inches squared is what your final answer should look like.